Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Switchball. On this episode we're going to start with the Sky World, level 4. Almost said World 4. Technically the Sky World is our world and the level is level 4. So let me make sure I get my terminology correct. This puzzle's pretty basic, I would say. It's not too terrible. We faced something similar to this in World 2, if you remember. Whoops. Make sure those steel cubes don't land on top of the wooden planks, or you kind of have to knock them off again. And there you have it. Easy peasy. I've been reading about this game. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of FAQs on it or walkthroughs on this game. So I'm going to have to kind of write some of the things myself, but that's okay. I kind of like that. But I have been reading forum posts and things of that nature about this game, saying that this game... I apologize for the camera angle there. Saying that this game is rather brutal towards the latter stages. But I don't know. I accept what happens next. I'm going to take the I Ching philosophy of video games. By the way, don't go forwards there. Just yet we need to transform into another ball. This is kind of tricky, actually. What I think you need to do is just kind of roll over here. Yeah, I know. This may take me a couple of tries. This does get rather frustrating. And I know some of you out there probably want me to cut some of this, and who knows if I will or not. But there you go. Fortunately, you get a couple of chances that you can just try it over and over again. And there's pretty much infinite lives on this game. And that's one thing I do like. It does kind of encourage a lot of trial and error. You get to rip through that fabric there. I don't know why we didn't rip through the last layer, but oh well, whatever. I hope you guys are okay with me not doing a timed version of the game. Or rather, not trying to make it through the game as quickly as possible. That way I can kind of explain everything. Also, be careful when you roll down that hill. You want to line yourself up to that plank that I passed through. Or I passed over, because if you don't, you're going to fall off. And this takes care of World 4. Or sorry, Level 4, I should say. It doesn't take care of the world just yet. Excuse me, I do have a little bit of dyslexia there with level and world, I guess, in this episode, but don't worry, we'll take care of it. I'm going to go to the next level. Level 5, that is. This game is really starting to grow on me. I kind of like the design of it, and it's quite amusing, actually. It's very entertaining. Now this is kind of an interesting puzzle here. You're kind of wondering, well, what do we do here? Well, I'll show you what we do there. We ride up this little platform. I like to have little flotsam and jetsam here as well, little boxes. I'm going to try to zoom out a little bit to show you what happens with this. If you can't see it, well, you'll see it momentarily. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. If not, well, what happened was that this ball fell over here and knocked this plank down, so I was able to get it on camera and sometimes I wasn't, so I apologize for that if you wanted to see it and you weren't able to see it. It's kind of an interesting puzzle here. It reminds me of a section of Half-Life 2. What we need to do here is we need to actually be able to roll across this propeller, and it would be very helpful if the propeller did not rotate while we're going across it. So what you need to do is kind of put a little steel box on either side of it. Well, the steel box on one side and the wooden crate, I should say, on the other. This isn't your companion cube. There's no hearts on it, but no matter. And there you have it. Puzzles are actually pretty short so far. That's not too terrible. Now here you're kind of wondering what we do. Kind of want to push this. Well, eventually we'll get to that, but yes, exactly. I know what to do now. I apologize for that. That pushes this out of the way, which pushes this out of the way. And there you have it. I think that's why we had to be the marble ball, and this is the marble ball, because if you were the stone ball and pushed this box out of the way, yeah, it would have been bad. You probably would have been blocked in, or something of that nature, so. Now here's kind of something that's a little trickier. It actually gets kind of worse with a similar puzzle in a later level. But what you need to do is, you'll see here that this little seesaw will actually drop you. It'll drop you off the ledge, so what you need to do is put this little metal crate down. And so that way, when you're a marble, or a marble ball rather, let me see if I can get the angle right, you can actually just roll up here, and you won't fall off. See, there's kind of a gap there? Yeah, if you didn't do that, you would fall directly off. And so that takes care of level 5. Levels are pretty easy so far, but we'll see how they are in the future. A couple of gyrocopters here. I'm not sure why there's so many of them. I'm not sure. I don't think that this game is that this game is multiplayer, but what are you gonna do? It's probably just putting that there just because they like flotsam and jetsam everywhere. And what we need to do here is, this is kind of similar to a puzzle in balance, where what we need to do is knock these metal crates out of the way. Which is similar to, I believe, a section in level 13 of balance, and a couple of other levels, but I can't remember off the top of my head which levels. I do know level 13 of balance definitely had a puzzle similar to this. But really, when you're dealing with physics puzzles, I mean, especially when you've got a ball rolling around, you're not going to have that much variance, really. So I can't really blame them for using a similar puzzle. It's kind of like a video that came out recently of someone supposedly claiming that the graphics in iOS 7 were made in Microsoft Word, but really, most graphics programs have the same tools, and you're using pretty much the same tools to create things, you know. I mean, there's only so many ways you can create a screwdriver, you know. But that's another complaint. Really not a complaint, but observation, I'd say. This is pretty basic. What you need to do is kind of watch out here. I wanted to do that just to kind of show you what these do, these propellers. You want to just kind of time it and go across the edge. Let's try that one more time. This is just trial and error. I find a lot of these puzzles are just completely trial and error. They really are. Because I guess the physics engine is a little more complicated, and so a lot more can go wrong than a simpler game like Balance, but no matter. I kind of like it just the same. Now right here we have kind of a puzzle. You can either put a couple of crates under the seesaw, you could put a metal crate under the seesaw, but what you're supposed to do, you see that little ridge on the barrel? Well, that can actually hold up the seesaw. It just takes a couple of seconds to get it over there. Whoops. Well, that may have been a little too far. It may work, I don't know. You don't want to push it too far into the ramp there, but I think it'll be okay just the same. Nope, fortune did not favor the foolish today. So what we can do, hopefully we won't have to reset the level for this. Like I said, it just takes trial and error. A lot of stuff can just go wrong. No matter how much you practice it, there can be different things that happen in the level. And I do kind of like that. Let me see if this works. Let me just jam that in there. Okay, there we go. who knows if that'll work or not. What I had the last time was I had the seesaw kind of support itself on the ridge, and it looks like that works good. And here's kind of a fun little thing where you have the rope physics. This is kind of nice. I like the rope physics here. Whoa! We didn't make it. That's okay, we can make it this time. Like I said, a lot of stuff can go not the way you had planned it in this game, and I like that too. Balance was pretty much... there wasn't a lot of randomness to it, but with this game, since there's the rag physics, like you're falling on the cloth, or the rope physics kind of moving you around randomly, there's a bit of randomness to it, and I do like that. It adds a level of challenge to the game. Because in the real world, physics are like that. They have different, you know, different randomness to it. So there you go. Anyways, that wraps up Let's Play Switchball for this episode, so thank you so much and have a good day. Goodbye.